What if an entire civilization ruled the seas and then vanished without leaving an ending? Long before classical Greece, the Minoans rose from the islands of the Aegean, masters of waves and wind. Their ships crossed open waters with confidence, linking islands, cultures, and distant lands. Crete became the heart of this maritime world, alive with color, trade, and motion. Unlike warlike empires, the Minoans built power through navigation, not conquest. The sea was their shield and their road. Palaces rose without walls, suggesting peace or supreme confidence. This was a civilization shaped by water, rhythm, and movement. Prosperity flowed with the tides, and yet history would one day forget their final chapter. Imagine cities filled with beauty instead of fortresses. The great Minoan palaces of Knossos, Phaistos, and Malia were unlike anything else in the ancient world. They had no defensive walls, no obvious throne rooms of fear. Instead, they were open, complex, and alive with light. Corridors twisted endlessly, staircases rose and fell, and rooms opened into courtyards filled with ceremony. Frescoes covered the walls with dolphins, dancers, and flowers. This was a world that celebrated life, not domination. Power here was subtle, administrative, and ritualistic. Authority flowed through order, not force. The palaces felt less like seats of kings and more like living organisms. A maze of beauty replaced the need for fear. What if a civilization defined itself through joy instead of war? Minoan art shows people leaping over bowls, dancing in harmony, and living close to nature. Women appear prominently, richly dressed and powerful in ritual scenes. Nature is everywhere: flowers, animals, and flowing lines. Violence is almost completely absent. Religion seems tied to fertility, earth, and renewal rather than conquest. Sacred caves and mountaintop shrines replaced massive temples. Life and belief were woven together seamlessly. This culture valued balance, movement, and rhythm. Even their writing, still undeciphered, feels decorative and controlled. The Minoans lived as if harmony itself were sacred. And for centuries, it worked. What if control came from trade, not swords? The Minoans dominated the Aegean through commerce and naval skill. Their ships carried olive oil, pottery, saffron, and art across the Mediterranean. Egyptian and Near Eastern records mention them with respect. They influenced mainland Greece, shaping what would later become Mycenaean culture. Their power rested on networks, not armies. Pirates feared them, traders trusted them, the sea protected Crete like a natural fortress. For generations, this balance held strong. The Minoans ruled the waves without bloodshed. But the sea that gave them power would also bring change, and change was approaching quietly. Why did such a peaceful and powerful civilization disappear? Around 1600 BCE, the volcano on Thera erupted with unimaginable force. Ash darkened skies, waves battered coasts, and trade routes were shattered. Earthquakes followed, cracking palaces and cities. Life did not end instantly, but it weakened. Recovery was slow, and vulnerability spread. Mainland warriors, the Mycenaeans, moved in as Minoan strength faded. Palaces burned, systems collapsed, and leadership vanished. The Minoans did not fall in one night. They faded between disaster and invasion. And then, their voice went silent. A civilization dissolved into legend. What if the fall did not come from within, but from watching eyes across the sea? As Minoan cities struggled to recover from earthquakes and volcanic destruction, the balance of power quietly shifted. The Mycenaeans from mainland Greece, hardened by warfare and fortified cities, saw opportunity in Minoan weakness. They did not arrive as guests or traders, but as rulers. Palaces once filled with ritual and color now echoed with foreign authority. Linear. A writing disappeared, replaced by Linear B, an early form of Greek. Administration changed, priorities shifted, and the old Minoan identity began to dissolve. The conquerors adopted Minoan culture, but not its soul. Control replaced harmony. The palaces still stood, but the civilization that built them was fading. What if losing a language meant losing an entire way of thinking? The Minoans wrote in Linear A, a script still undeciphered today. When the Mycenaeans took control, this writing vanished completely. No transition, no preservation, no explanation. With it disappeared Minoan names, beliefs, and voices. History lost the ability to hear them speak for themselves. What survives comes only through art and ruins. Without words, their intentions remain uncertain. We see what they built, but not what they believed. The silence left by Linear A is as haunting as the empty palaces. A civilization without a readable voice becomes a mystery forever. What if the Minoans never truly vanished, but transformed into legend? Greek myths speak of King Minos, the labyrinth, and the Minotaur. These stories feel like distorted memories of real places and rituals. The Palace of Knossos, with its endless corridors, resembles the legendary maze. Bulls, sacred in Minoan art, appear again in myth as monsters and trials. Even Plato's story of Atlantis echoes themes of a powerful island civilization destroyed by natural disaster. Myth may be history reshaped by time. Truth blurred into storytelling. The Minoans lived on, not as records, but as imagination. Their fall became a warning wrapped in legend. What if Greek civilization was built on Minoan foundations? The Mycenaeans adopted Minoan art, architecture, and maritime knowledge. Religious symbols, trade networks, and artistic styles flowed into later Greek culture. Even after political control shifted, Minoan influence remained everywhere. The roots of classical Greece stretch back to Crete's lost world. Without the Minoans, Greek civilization would look very different. They taught the Aegean how to trade, sail, and organize complex societies. Their ideas outlived their power. Influence proved stronger than survival. The Minoans shaped the future without existing in it. What if the sea never forgot them? Today, the ruins of Minoan palaces rest under the sun, open to the sky and wind. Frescoes fade, stones crumble, but the feeling remains. This was a civilization that valued beauty, balance, and connection over fear. They ruled without walls and prospered without conquest. Their end reminds humanity how fragile even the most advanced societies can be. Nature, chance, and time care little for greatness. Yet the Minoans are not truly gone. They live in art, myth, and influence. The waves that once carried their ships still wash Crete's shores. And in that rhythm, the lost civilization of the Aegean endures. What if the greatest lesson of the Minoans is found in their silence? They left no boastful inscriptions, no lists of conquered enemies, no claims of eternal rule. Instead, they left beauty, balance, and questions. Their civilization shows that power does not always come from walls or weapons, but from connection, creativity, and trust. Yet their disappearance also warns how fragile harmony can be when nature and human ambition collide. The Minoans remind us that even peaceful greatness is temporary. What survives is not dominance, but influence. Long after their ships sank and their palaces fell quiet, their ideas continued to shape the world. The Minoans may be lost to history, but their story still teaches those willing to listen.